Hi there, welcome back to Camera Than Coffee, where I shed light on all the important specs of deserving cameras. And today, I'm damn excited to share with you a detailed specs comparison of the new Sony A7 IV and one of the best in the market, Canon EOS R6. By the way, Sony has just released the full-size sample images of the new Sony A7 IV on their official website, so if time allows, do consider checking them out. Cool, it's a beautiful day, so without any further ado, let's begin. So the new hybrid camera Sony A7 IV is finally here 16 months after the release of Canon EOS R6, and it is priced at approximately $2,500, same as Canon EOS R6. And yes, it is scheduled to be available from December this year. Now let's talk about the image quality specs of the cameras. So, as Sony A7 IV houses a newly developed 33 megapixel full-frame CMOS sensor, we will experience a slight uptick in details and low-light performance as compared to Canon R6, which is also a really good camera for photographers. And both the cameras can deliver images in RAW, JPEG and HEIF format. Moving on, both A7 IV and R6 are powered by latest image processors, which contribute to image quality, autofocus, and overall speed in various operations. And together, the new sensor and powerful processor will allow a continuous shooting of 10 fps on A7 IV. However, comparatively, R6 has a higher frequency continuous shooting, which is a good reason to pick R6 if you are into wildlife or sports photography. One more thing which puts R6 ahead of A7 IV is the wider ISO range, which does make a difference. And speaking of shutter speed, both the cameras freeze the fast actions with the same speed. Now let's talk about autofocus. Both the cameras have advanced and latest autofocus, which allows smooth and confident continuous focusing in all the recording modes. And speaking of AF points, on both the cameras we get approximately 94% of image area coverage, which makes their autofocus one of the best in the market. But when conditions get tough and light is not in our favor, the R6 will win the battle as it claims to focus down to light level of -6.5 EV. On top of this, eye, face and head detection on both the cameras ensure that the shots are sharp and in focus. In addition, we get real-time tracking on both the cameras that work on humans, animals as well as birds. Looking at the dimensions of both the cameras, A7 IV seems to be both smaller and lighter than the Canon R6, which is a benefit as well as a drawback for some. One really good point is that both the cameras have a 3-inch articulating touchscreen with almost similar display quality. Plus, we also get a good resolution electronic viewfinder on both the cameras. However, unfortunately, we don't have an inbuilt flash on both the cameras. But it's okay, external flash is always a better option. One good thing in A7 IV is that it allows higher speed CF Express Type A card to take a space inside the camera, thanks to its enhanced processing powers. Speaking of batteries, both the cameras have internally chargeable batteries. However, it looks like the new one performs better in case of stills, whereas in case of videos, Canon doesn't specify its battery capacity. Moving on to one of the important points, weather sealing. Now, both the cameras are not really weather sealed, although the camera features that they are dust and water resistant, but this cannot completely prevent dust or water droplets from entering the camera. And yes, on one side we have E-mount and on the other we have RF mount. And now the video specs, and this is where both the cameras are sailing on the same boat. Both the cameras can record UHD 4K in 30 as well as 60p. However, there is no recording limit in case of A7 IV, whereas R6 has a recording limit of 30 to 40 minutes depending on the frame rate. And when it is about Full HD or slow motion recording, both the cameras can record up to 120 fps. And just like the internal recording, both the cameras are great with their external recording as well. Cherry on the top, both the cameras provide their best log profiles. Now, if you are a streamer, you will be happy to know that now you can record in 4K and Full HD up to 60p in A7 IV. And not just that, the A7 IV also provides simultaneous internal recording while you are streaming. Speaking of stabilization, both the cameras have 5-axis in-body image stabilization, but the R6 offers 8 stops, which makes it slightly better than A7 IV. And last but not the least, the ports, which is more or less similar on both the cameras. Now, before I wrap up the video, let me give you a quick 30-second summary that will help you take a fast decision. Cool, thank you so much for stopping by and all the best for your new camera. And it's a new channel, so if the video was helpful, do support me by subscribing.